School choice is now law here in Idaho. Today, Governor Brad Little signed House Bill 93, also known as Idaho Parental Choice Tax Credit.
Hometown reporter Derek Kay spoke with state leaders and local school districts to get their reaction.
I was pretty confident that the governor was going to sign it anyway. We worked very closely with his staff all summer long on this bill.
Governor Brad Little has signed House Bill 93, creating the Parental Choice Tax Credit program in Idaho. The bill will allow parents to apply for an annual refundable tax credit of up to $5,000 for qualified expenses for grade school children and $7,500 for students with disabilities. According to the bill, those expenses include non-public school tuition, tutoring, textbooks, and other costs. House Majority Leader Jason Monks was a sponsor of the bill.
I think you'll have a lot of interest by parents who are going to start exploring the options and the ideas. I think you'll see the increase of people looking at pods and micro schools. That's one of the things in this particular legislation I think that was way overlooked.
After signing the bill, Governor Little released a statement stating in part, quote, "With the passage of the $50 million Parental Choice Tax Credit program, Idaho boasts even more abundant schooling options for Idaho students and families. Idaho can have it all: strong public schools and education freedom." The Idaho Democratic Party responded, writing, quote, "Brad Little cares more about appeasing out-of-state billionaires than protecting Idaho students and neighborhood schools. Idahoans saw this voucher scheme for what it was: a blatant attack on public education." Some school districts were also left disappointed by the governor's decision. Twin Falls School District Superintendent Brady Dickinson says he and 72 other superintendents across the state wrote a letter to the governor asking him to veto the bill.
Go back and you look at what the governor said a voucher bill needed to include in his State of the State address in January. This particular bill really doesn't meet any of the parameters that were laid out for a bill that he would support, and so actually a little surprised that he was willing to sign it.
I will argue that there is nobody who's more accountable for their kids' education than a parent, and we do have some safeguards in the bill. This is just about providing some more options.
Another concern among educators we spoke with is money being funneled away from public schools.
I've heard that complaint. We're funding private schools. Not one penny goes to private schools. We're reimbursing parents for their costs when they choose to educate their kid outside of the public school system.
Superintendent Dickinson also spoke about potential issues with the state budget growing out of control.
That was one of the things that we were concerned about, early on, was that, yeah, this bill is not a tremendous amount of money, but again, looking at every other state, it does tend to grow. And so I think the hope is that our legislature will move cautiously in terms of looking at when and how to increase it.
The bill states that the tax credit maxes out at $50 million. Derek Kay, KMVT News.